Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Unity of Charlottesville on this beautiful, soft May day. We are live online in several formats. You may be joining us on Zoom, by Facebook, or on our internet page and YouTube. So however you are with us this morning, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. Reverends Patricia and Don are on vacation. I spoke with them yesterday and they are enjoying a little time away, a little rest and relaxation, and are with us in prayer this morning. And we will welcome them back next week. As is our practice, we like to start each service meeting with prayer. So I invite you now to relax, allow the chair, the couch, whatever is supporting you. Take a deep cleansing breath and breathe in this freshness of spring. And just let go of any to-do list, any agenda for the day, and be present in this now moment. For we know we are here by divine appointment, each of us on our own spiritual path of understanding and enlightenment. And we are here to receive a message that is meant just for us. So we take a moment to let go and be present here in this time, in this space. For we are together. We know that nothing separates us. And we take time this morning to bless our country. We see people filled with faith, the faith of prosperity and abundance, and not the fear of lack and worry. We extend our positive energy out to the Middle East, to Southeast Asia, to anywhere in the world that is experiencing disruption at this time. We send peace. We see people coming together for understanding and wisdom, learning from one another so that we can make a more equitable peace in our country and around the world. And for this opportunity to come together and celebrate, we give thanks and we pray in the name and after the nature of the indwelling Christ and affirm that it is so. Amen and amen. And now if you'll join me in our statement of faith.
We actually are going to just have a little bit of announcement real quickly about if you have some technical difficulties. Would you like to take that, Peggy?
Certainly. If you are having any trouble connecting with the service, our technical team is standing by to help you as we speak. So if you will just email unityofcharlottesville@gmail.com, we have people standing by to help you connect. We also ask that during the service, please keep yourself muted, except for the designated times such as fellowship. And we also would appreciate you refraining from using the chat button during the prayers, meditations, and the message this morning. And we will have fellowship after the service. Now we'll do our statement of faith. Thank you, Aisha. Together, please. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one song. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
That was beautiful. We are so blessed by our wonderful music team. One of our spring fundraisers is our Thrive with 35 program. This is something that the board members decided would be a way for us to catch up the perceived deficit that we experienced last year when the ability to rent space in our sanctuary and in our building was stopped because of COVID. We have many people that have joined the program, and they have pledged to give on a monthly basis $35 or more in addition to their normal monthly tithe and giving. We have a thermometer that you'll be able to see next week in the sanctuary that shows the progress that we're making with the program already. And it's a great way for everyone to be involved and help us bring back the income that is temporarily suspended until we can rent space again. And we have a great announcement about next week. Beginning Sunday, the 23rd, we will be returning to our sanctuary for service. We will be observing the CDC guidelines with social distancing for the seating, wearing masks. And in order to accommodate people, we are asking that everyone sign up on our website in advance to RSVP your seat. We have a limited amount of seats that we can accommodate in the sanctuary, and we'll have overflow seating as the reservations come in the narthex and on the terrace level. So please go to the website. We ask that you sign up no later than Saturday evening beforehand so that we'll know how many people to anticipate for the service on Sunday. So, and now let's share together our mission statement. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world.
Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are his family and loneliness can't hide. Oh, give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never always knew how. But like the sunshine on a cloudy day, it stands before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be the greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Rhonda, that was beautiful. Oh, so wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you. We want to let you know that Unity welcomes people of all faiths, all religions, all creeds, sexual orientation, gender identity. We are one. We all are one at Unity of Charlottesville, and we welcome you here. It is a distinct pleasure for me to be able to introduce Reverend Kate Adamson, the Director of Youth Education. She has been serving in that capacity for 10 years. Kate was fortunate to grow up in Unity. She attended New Thought Center in Cincinnati, and she became an ordained interfaith minister in 2015. Kate has a wonderful mountaintop home in Nelson County, and she shares that home with 4 generations of her family. Can you imagine how wonderful that has been in this past year to be together? And when Kate isn't working with our wonderful youth and children, she enjoys her garden, being out on a kayak, or being on stage in one of the local community theaters. So with much love and gratitude, may we please welcome Reverend Kate Adamson, who will bring us our message and the meditation.
Thank you all. It is such a delight to get to look out and see all your faces here on Zoom, and to get to share myself with you all in a little bit of a different way than I usually do on Sundays. I am feeling so touched listening to Rhonda's song. I have tears creeping out of my eyes. That's one of my very favorite songs. So today, here we are. It's mid-spring in Charlottesville. And mid-spring in Charlottesville inevitably brings us many things, often rain. It also brings us dogwoods blooming, farmers markets opening, graduation at UVA, and people kayaking on the Rivanna. And also in the spirit of our state motto, Virginia is for lovers, spring in Charlottesville also brings us lots and lots of weddings. Yep, we're right in the middle of wedding season. And many of you know, maybe, that I've been a wedding officiant for the last 7 or 8 years. And it's quickly become a pretty significant part of my ministry, in addition, of course, to working with our kids at Unity of Charlottesville. I have found doing weddings that I really love working with couples to create an authentic expression of their values, their relationship, and what they hold sacred. As an interfaith minister, I get to help couples be creative because we're not working off of a really specific script of what it means to get married. So I work with couples to design an experience of crossing a threshold together, crossing that threshold into committed partnership. And I don't know How many people know this? I didn't know this before I became ordained, but there are really only two legally necessary parts to a wedding. And that is asking, do you want to marry this person? And then them saying yes. And then the second part is the pronouncement. I now pronounce you married. So a legal wedding can really just be about 10 seconds long. Everything else in a wedding is to help the couple feel married at the end of it, to actually make that internal commitment, not just in words, not just in the mind, but to actually cross that threshold. And so as a wedding officiant, I help couples do that, sometimes by incorporating cultural traditions, things that people have been thinking about all their lives, wearing a white dress, being walked down the aisle by their dad, hearing those words at the end of the ceremony of "you may kiss the bride." All of those pieces have meaning and sentiment and nostalgia for people, and that is a very important part of a wedding. Other couples want to move away from those traditions that maybe feel old-fashioned or don't really reflect their values. And so I really love working with couples to create new and unique rituals. And some of my favorites have included, I once had a couple who decided to give each other little teeny tiny tattoos on their hand as they were taking their vows. So one person in the couple would be speaking the vows and the other person was poking them with a little needle that had ink on it. It's a kind of traditional form of giving a tattoo. Other couples I've worked with have planted a tree together in a pot, and they've both poured soil from their childhood homes into the pot to honor all the ways that their family traditions and family roots are supporting the life that they're stepping into. So, of course, weddings have been a little bit different with COVID over this last year. Many weddings that I've been working with couples with have been postponed several times. A lot of them have turned into private ceremonies with just a few family members present. I've also gotten to do a lot of elopements on mountaintops at sunrise, where we've met at the trailhead in the wee hours of the dark morning and hiked up the mountain with headlamps, and then gotten to stand at the top of the mountain and watch the sun rise as they take their vows to each other. So whether tattooing each other or hiking to the top of a mountain or even standing on the Unity Labyrinth, all of my weddings have two themes in common: love and commitment. Now that's not surprising. That's what we expect from a wedding. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I have to admit that I do have an ulterior motive with weddings, and it's not really as bad as it sounds. A wedding, in my mind, it doesn't have to just be about two people who love each other and are committing to love each other forever and ever. It can also be an opportunity for everyone else who's present to also anchor themselves in their own commitment to love. One of the ways I do this, one of the most requested scriptural readings for weddings is, of course, from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. And I know that many of you probably know it. I'm going to read it out loud anyway. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And so when a couple includes this reading in their wedding, I often continue by saying something like this: love is extraordinary. And yet it's also so very ordinary, because each of us has the capacity for it. And not just in our romantic relationships. Paul's letter to the Corinthians wasn't directed to married couples. He was writing to all the Christians in Corinth about living a life of faith, centered in this unfailing love. We're here today because these two people are committing themselves to a lifetime of loving partnership. Marriage is sacred because it cultivates our capacity for doing the work that we all want to be doing in our lives, growing, strengthening, and deepening our ability to love. And so, as we celebrate this couple's commitment to a lifetime of loving each other, may we also be inspired to consecrate the relationships of love, family, and friendship in our own lives, anchoring ourselves in our own commitment to love. And so, today, in honor of springtime in Charlottesville and all the weddings that are taking place this month, I am going to invite us to do just that, to consecrate our own commitments to love. During the meditation, I'm going to lead us in an inner ritual of our commitment to love. But first, before we get to that, I just want to take a look a little bit deeper at love and commitment. So love, what can we say? I mean, it's a concept that many spiritual leaders and poets and playwrights and songwriters and Hallmark card authors have attempted to define with varying success. I mean, it's easier to describe how it feels than to define it very precisely. It's often defined as a feeling of being in love, of being strongly attracted to something or feeling strong affection for someone. That makes me think of how I feel about dark chocolate, right? Like it makes me feel good. I want it. I want more of it. I can't get enough of it, right? But as spiritual seekers, we know that love. Okay, now I am not muted anymore. Okay, so Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders of the Unity movement, identified love as one of our 12 spiritual powers. And in Unity writings, love is described as the pull we feel towards experiencing oneness. Love is the ability to know our oneness with all. Love is acknowledging that the truth of our existence is holy union with everyone and all that exists. Loving another is acknowledging that there is no other. That gets me more than dark chocolate gets me. But really, what does that look like in practice? Right? I can know that. I can know that I am one with all things. But what does it look like to live our love into action? What's our practical working definition of love? I've been thinking about this a lot in the context of my 4 generations of family living under one roof, in my marriage, and in my relationships. And so one of my current working practical definitions of love, it has 2 parts. The first part is that love is a willingness to be fully present with whatever is true for another person and for myself. And this is being fully present without resistance, without judgment, without resentment, and also without approval. Just noticing what's true and being willing to be open to it. And this reminds me of the Rumi poem that goes, out beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, and even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. All right, so that's part 1. The willingness to be present. The second part is staying curious about what we don't understand. Instead of letting our not understanding be an inspiration to go into fear, instead we stay curious so that we don't slide into judgment and resistance and all of those other things that keep us from being fully present. So I would say that love is whatever it takes. Living our love into action is whatever it takes to get us back to the truth that we are one in holy union, which means that any seeming conflict between us is rooted in misunderstanding. Charles Fillmore said about love that love is the oil that softens up the hard places. And I think about that when I think about putting love into action, whatever it takes to get us out of that sense of being in opposition to each other. And for me, that's being present and staying curious. Well, we all know that this doesn't always come easy or instinctively. It's not always our first response. We're all on a path of learning how to love, or remembering how to love, or, as they say in A Course in Miracles, which has been misattributed to Rumi, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. I'm just going to read that one more time. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And so I find that a helpful part of this path of remembering how to love is having specific people who we are committed to doing that work with. This can be our friends, our children, our parents, our romantic partners, and also ourselves. And just to be clear, this kind of commitment doesn't have to be monogamous, right? I think the ultimate ideal is that we're doing this work of love with every person in our lives. But we make these specific commitments to help us do the work, to help us lubricate, use that oil of love as we learn to come back to the truth of our oneness. And so let's look at commitment and what it means to commit to love. I would say that committing to love is not a commitment to never be angry. It's not a commitment to always be open and fully accepting, because we're human. We're all on this path. The commitment is to doing the work of love when it needs to be done. To notice the barriers, to notice when our heart is hard or closed or we're shutting down. And then to do what we have to do to come back to love, to come back to curiosity, to come back to our willingness to be present with what's true. This work can be scary sometimes, and it can be hard sometimes because there's some feelings of vulnerability in it, and some feelings of letting go of control. And our commitment to love gives us an extra incentive to do that hard work when we feel like it and when we don't feel like it. Our commitment to love is more than just making a commitment to another person. I would say that even more than that, it's making a commitment to ourselves and also to the deepest power we know to be true, to spirit, to God, to the universe, that this is who I want to be because I want to live out the truth of what is. So I want to ask us now, who do you have a commitment to love? Who in your life do you have this commitment to do the work of love with? It could be a friend, a family member, a parent, a child, a beloved partner. It could be a relationship where you're struggling to be loving. And it may be that today your most powerful commitment could be to loving yourself. And so we're going to be going into meditation in just a little while after listening to another great song from Blair. And as part of the meditation, we're going to be doing an inner ritual of committing to love. So I invite you now to really identify one person And again, it could be yourself. One person who you want to experience that commitment to loving. And so I invite you to listen to this next song and prepare for meditation.
An ordinary day, no celebration, no bubbly libation, no ritual, no cake, just you and I connecting and recollecting the mountains we have moved for one another's sake. On this lonely day, I light a candle in my heart's chapel. Let it shine, it's our high feast day, a moment spared to drive cold winter away. On this lowly, holy day. Simpatico, we're not on every topic. We're both a bit myopic when frequently we debate, but you always entertain me and don't restrain me. You pull me in your circle, you fill my plate. On this lonely day, I light a candle in my heart's chapel. Let it shine, it's our high feast day, a moment spared to drive cold winter away. On this lowly, holy day. On this lowly day, I light a candle in my heart's chapel. Let it shine, it's our high feast day, a moment spared to drive cold winter away. On this lowly, holy day. Though time and space conspire to quench that cheerful fire, when we can reunite, the room fills up with light. On this lonely day, I light a candle in my heart's chapel. Let it shine, it's our high feast day, a moment spared to drive cold winter away. On this lonely, holy day, this lonely, holy day.
Thank you, Blair. As we prepare to go into meditation, I'm going to start us out the way I often start many of my wedding ceremonies. We are gathered here today to witness and celebrate each of our commitment to love. And so, in honor of the sacred purpose of our time together today, please join me in prayer. And so I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you. Eternal and gracious God, we come to you today in celebration and gratitude for our sacred capacity to love. As we commit to these loving relationships today, God, let us open our hearts that we may experience the beauty of love. Let us open our minds that we may be inspired by the truth of love. Let us open the depths of our being that we may live from the fullness of love. We give thanks for the gifts of this day and for the love that connects us with our beloveds and with each other. In the name of all that is sacred and holy, amen. And so I invite you to let yourself relax into this meditation with your eyes closed if you want to. Letting yourself be fully present with what's true for you in this moment. Noticing your body, relaxing into the peaceful presence of now. And so I invite you to bring the person to mind who you are choosing to commit to in love today. See them in their wholeness. See them before you as they are. And I invite you to step into your willingness to be present with whatever is true for them. I invite you to notice any barriers there may be and allow those barriers to be enfolded in compassion and curiosity. Continuing to breathe. Continuing to allow yourself to be fully present. I'm going to speak some vows of commitment. I invite you to repeat them after me, either silently or aloud. Today, I dedicate myself to loving you. I vow to learn and grow together. Loving you for who you are and for who you are yet to become. I vow to hold your challenges and struggles with understanding and patience, with compassion and curiosity. I am willing to be present with you in times of strength and weariness, direction and doubt, joy and sorrow. I dedicate myself to loving you. As you feel the truth of this commitment within you and the truth of your love for this person and the truth of love as all our truth, the truth of oneness, the truth of holy union. I invite you to choose a symbol of your commitment. It could be a ring, or a tattoo, or a glowing light within you. Allow yourself to take on a symbol of your commitment today, whatever that looks like for you. And see yourself embodying your commitment. So, my dear ones, may your commitment to love continue to deepen and unfold from this day forward. May you love with courage, persistence, curiosity, and joy. May your love stretch ever larger to embrace all that life brings you. I honor your commitment to living out the truth of Holy Union, and I now pronounce you committed to love. So I invite you to breathe deeply in celebration and gratitude. Thank yourself for doing this work. Know your connection with all the others who are on this journey with you, this journey of returning to love. Our connection with each other here on this Zoom call, on YouTube, on Facebook, and really all of us humans who are doing this work of remembering the truth of love. So breathe now into this time and space, feeling the aliveness in your body. When you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes again to a world that is now filled with a lot more love. Thank you.
Oh, Kate, what a deep and inspiring message in meditation. Thank you so, so much. Being present and curious about love. And you showed us that love is not a noun. It's not something that comes gift wrapped and handed to us. It's a verb. It's a verb. Thank you. Well, one of the things that I love is Unity of Charlottesville, and all of you who are part of this Unity community that we call our church family. It's the time in our service if we were gathering together outside or in the sanctuary to share our offertory. But there are many ways that we can do that. And if you are on Zoom, you can see on the screen that we now have the ability to text to give. You can go online and through Tithely give an offering, a donation, a tithe. And you can do it the good old-fashioned way by writing a check and mailing it to the office. And that address is on the screen, or you can also find it on our website at unityofcharlottesville.com. So if we may, let's now bless our tithes and our offerings together. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. And so it is.
Think not of casting off your dreams when the road goes on forever. All is just not as it seems, and we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together. Think not of failing, carry on when the road goes on forever. Let all the tears and strife be gone, and we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together. Think not of stopping in the strife when the road goes on forever. Let happiness and joy be rife, and we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together. Think not of hills and mountains high when the road goes on forever. We'll lift our hearts up to the sky, and we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together all the way through wind and rain. I'll never deceive my heart again. And hand in hand across the land, we'll walk the road together.
Oh, Blair, you are so talented and so wonderful. We are very, very fortunate to have a music team headed up by Blair Jones. Thank you. A few announcements for what's coming up in the week. If you receive the weekly email, you receive this usually on Wednesdays from Reverend Don. On Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 7, we have our midweek faith lift. It's an opportunity to come together in prayer and sharing prayers for anyone and everyone, including ourselves. And it's a great group. So I encourage you to join in Wednesday at 6:30. And then on Thursday, the Women of Unity will be meeting at 7:15 via Zoom. You can get the link again on our website, or if you get the weekly email. Our own PMH Atwater will be speaking to us on her decades of research and knowledge on near-death experiences, and she is renowned in the field. So we welcome all women to come and join us in this group on Thursday the 20th at 7:15. And Mark, you want to tell us what the men are up to this week?
I don't think we can hear you, Mark.
Don't know what's wrong with my other mic. So the men are going to go on a continuing exploration of 5 types of Buddhist meditation. Henry Reeves had chosen them for us. We got about halfway through last month, and we're going to continue. We'll do a little review of what we did. All men are welcome. It's a great way to connect and explore what it's like to be a man in unity. Please join us. Oh, and a quick note for the Women of Unity. It's 15 minutes later this month, starting at 7:15 instead of 7 o'clock.
And we want to let you know about a very special anniversary picnic party. Save the date for Sunday, June 6th. Following the Sunday service, we are going to celebrate the amazing and dedicated pillars of our community. Reverends Don and Reverends Patricia are celebrating 20 years as our co-ministers here at Unity of Charlottesville. And Reverend Kate Admison, our youth education director, is celebrating 10 years, as is Blair Jones, 10 years of wonderful service to our community, and we are going to celebrate them in great ways. So please make a reservation. There will be a catered lunch, and in order for us to know how many lunches to order, we do need your reservation, and that information is all on the website, but save the date. And we also want you to know that we are here for you. If there is something that you need, whether it's a prayer or help in some way, our pastoral care team is available. You can call our office. The number is on the screen. It's also on our website. You can request prayer online, and there's a form that you can fill out. The pastoral care team prays with and for you throughout the week. And then our prayers are sent on to Silent Unity as well, where they pray for an additional 30 days. So we are here for you. And please stay on. Virtual fellowship will follow after the peace song. So if you are on Zoom, please stay and join the fellowship. If you're on Facebook, switch over and hop in and have some fellowship time. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
And we are also, now I'm putting on my other hat of Youth Ed Director, and just want to give you the update from Youth Ed Land. We've been having a great time having in-person, socially distanced Youth Ed Kids Church, and we will continue to do that next week. And also our Uniteens have been meeting online on Zoom every other Sunday, and tonight is a Uniteens meeting for our middle schoolers at 7 o'clock with the ever awesome Maria Stein. So let's hold all of our children and families and teachers in our hearts as we share our children's blessing. Children, Uniteens, YOUers, teachers and parents, you are loved, special, and important. Mwah. Have a great week. maybe it's my job to close out the service and to say thank you to all of the people who worked behind the scenes to make today go so smoothly. Thank you to our tech team. Thank you to Peggy Ruth for being our celebration assistant. Thank you, as always, to our amazing music team for choosing just the perfect songs to really bring us into that heart space. Looking forward to joining with you all on virtual fellowship if you choose to stay on for that. And I am with you on this journey of remembering how to love. Have a great week. Mwah. Oh, and let's share in the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well.